a little bit different. So instead of us actually doing the Bible study and the SOAP method, I decided that I just wanted to do a soft Bible reading with Matthew chapters 13 through 15. And I'm actually going to turn on a little bit of lo-fi. And I actually just made me some coffee. So I'm going to grab that. Well, actually not coffee, excuse me, some tea. So I'm going to grab that really quickly right after I get done getting set up here. And the reason why I decided to do this a little bit differently is because, you guys, I'm still under the weather, and I didn't like read the Bible and study last night like I had anticipated on, and I really just still wanted to show up. I didn't want to not come live after I've always promised you guys that I was going to come live each day, Monday through Friday. So I just wanted to push myself to come on and to continue to go live with you guys and to share these early mornings with you. And I am a little bit late, you guys. Like I mentioned, I was trying to get myself together, and here I am, right? So I'm going to go ahead and connect to my Wi-Fi on my computer so I can get my lo-fi together so we can set the tone for this video or for this live. And for those of you all who will join me on today, I'm so grateful for you. And for those of you all who will catch this on the replay, you are right on time. So don't worry about missing the live, you guys, because we are still in unity, right? All right, internet is now connected. So let me go ahead and get my YouTube on. And I'm going to have to do a little trial and error. I actually pressed go live a little bit too quickly. I was trying to set my title in my description, and before I knew it, I was already pressing live. So bear with me. You guys, one of these days, I'm going to get all of these technical difficulties out of the way. Like, I'm going to have it all together to where I can just, you know, go live, have my things together, and not have all of these mishaps in the morning. And I even just noticed that I don't have my earrings on, you guys. And please excuse my voice, okay? Because it sounds really bad. All right, so, and actually, yesterday, I had put it on Christian Lo-Fi instrumentals. And it went from it being an instrumental to songs with actual lyrics on there. So I was a little bit taken back by that. But let me go ahead and get this on. This time I want to look and see if I could just find some with just the lo-fi. And hopefully this doesn't come on too loud. Let me turn the volume down some. Hey, good morning, good morning. In case you guys missed it in the intro, I was saying that today is just going to be a soft Bible reading. So it's not going to be an actual Bible study on today. We're just going to take our time to read together and listen to a little bit of soft lo-fi. This is the same one from yesterday. I must really love this thumbnail. Hold on. Let's find another one. Because I just want some calming music. Like, I don't want the actual lyrics or anything. Let's see what this is going to do. Okay. I can vibe with that. Y'all like it? Hi, good morning. Hi, Nala. Good morning. Hi, you got IR123. Good morning. God bless you, too. All right, so I really like this one. Is this too loud? Does it sound okay? And while you guys listen to that, I'm actually going to grab my cup so I can get my tea, okay? Yeah, so this is not advertisement or anything like that, but this is my all-time favorite tea, you guys. So if you have like a sore throat or anything, this right here works wonders, okay? And also, in case you missed it, you guys, please excuse my voice. I do have a cold. But we're going to keep on moving, okay? You like it? It sounds fine? Awesome. Thank you so much for responding to that. Bless you, bless you. So this is green tea, blueberry slim life. It energizes and supports your immune system. So let's go ahead and get this. And I also like these because it has cute little notes on them. This one says, love is the ultimate law of life. It's so cute. Let's go ahead and get this together. Ooh, I wasted it. Let me grab a towel. All right, good morning, you guys. Good morning. Please say hi to you. Hi, Jessica. Good morning. Good morning, Jessica. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for being here this morning. It's so early. Thank you, guys. All right, so just in case you guys missed it in the intro, we're just going to be doing a soft Bible reading this morning. We're not going to do the Bible study. I'm just going to read through Matthew chapters 13 through 15, okay? And if this music gets too loud, let me know and I will turn it down a bit, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Matthew chapter 13, the parable of the sower. On that day, Jesus went out of the house and was sitting by the sea. Such large crowds gathered around him, so that got into a boat and sat down, while the whole crowd stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, Consider the sower. Consider the sower who went out to sow. As he sowed, some seed fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seed fell on rocky ground where it didn't have much soil, and it grew up quickly since the soil wasn't deep. But when the sun came up, it was scorched, and since it had no root, it was withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns came up and choked it. Still other seed fell on the good ground and produced fruit, some 100, some 60, and some 30 times that was sown. Let anyone who has ears listen. While Jesus used parables, then the disciples came up and asked him, Why are you speaking to them in parables? He answered, Because the secrets of the kingdom of heaven have been given for you to know, but it has not been given to them. For whoever has, more will be given unto him, and he will have more than enough. But whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. That is why I speak to them in parables, because looking they do not see, and hearing they do not listen or understand. Isaiah's prophecy is fulfilled in them, which says, You will listen and listen, but never understand. You will look and look, but never perceive. For this people's heart has grown callous. Their ears are hard of hearing, and they have shut their eyes, otherwise they might see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and turn back, and I would heal them. Good morning, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for liking the live. Blessed are your eyes, because they do see, and your ears, because they do hear. For truly I tell you, many prophets and righteous people long to see the things you see but didn't see them, to hear the things that you hear but didn't hear them. The parable of the sower explained. So listen to the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word about the kingdom and doesn't understand it, the evil one comes in and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is the one sown along the path, and the one sown on rocky ground. This is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. But he has no root and is short-lived. When distress or persecution comes because of the word, immediately he falls away. Now the one sown among the thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the worries this age and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. But the one sown on the good ground, this is the one who hears and understands the word, who does produce fruit and yields, some 100, some 60, and some 30 times what was sown. The parable of the wheat and the weeds. He presented another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while people were sleeping, his enemy came, sowed weeds among the wheat, and left. When the plant sprouted and produced grain, then the weeds also appeared. The landowner's servant came to him and said, Master, don't you sow good seed in your field? Then where did the weeds come from? An enemy did this, he told them. So do you want us to go and pull them up? The servants asked him. No, he said. When you pull up the weeds, you might also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. At harvest time, I'll tell the reapers, gather the weeds first and tie them in bundles to burn them, but collect the wheat in my barn. The parables of the mustard seed and of the leaven. He presented another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven is like mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It's the smallest of all the seeds, but when grown, it's taller than the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the sky come and nest in its branches. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven that a woman took and mixed into 50 pounds of flour until all of it was leavened. Using parables fulfills prophecy. Jesus told the crowds that all of these things in parables, and he did not tell them anything without a parable, so that what was spoken through the prophet might be fulfilled. I will open my mouth in parables. I will declare the things kept secret from the foundation of the world. Jesus interprets the parable of the wheat and the weeds. Then he left the crowds and went into the house. His disciples approached him and said, Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field. He replied, The one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed, these are the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. Therefore, just as the weeds are gathered and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather from his kingdom all who cause sin and those guilty of lawlessness. They will throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in their Father's kingdom. Let anyone who has ears listen. The parables of the hidden treasure and of the priceless pearl. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure, burned in a field, that a man found and reburied. Then in his joy he goes and sells everything he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in the search of Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. When he found one priceless pearl, he went and sold everything he had and bought it. The parable of the net. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a large net thrown into the sea. It collected every kind of fish. And when it was full, they dragged it ashore, sat down, and gathered the good fish into containers, but threw out the worthless ones. So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will go out, separate the evil people from the righteous, and throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The storehouse of truth. Have you understood all of these things? They answered him, Yes. Therefore he said to them, Every teacher of the law who has become a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out his storeroom treasures, new and old. Rejection at Nazareth. When Jesus had finished these parables, he left there. He went to his hometown and began to teach them in their synagogue, so that they were astonished and said, Where did this man get this wisdom and these miraculous powers? Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother called Mary, and his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? And his sisters, aren't they all with us? So where does he get all of these things? And they were offended by him. Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his hometown and in his household. And he did not do many miracles there because of their unbelief. Chapter 14. John the Baptist beheaded. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard the report about Jesus. This is John the Baptist, he told his servants. He has been raised from the dead, and that's why miraculous powers are at work for him. For Herod had arrested John, chained him, and put him in prison on account of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, since John had been telling him, it's not unlawful for you to have her. Though Herod wanted to kill John, he feared the crowd since they regarded John as a prophet. When Herod's birthday celebration came, Herodias' daughter danced before them and pleased Herod. But he promised with an oath to give her whatever she asked. Prompted by her mother, she answered, give me John the Baptist's head here on a platter. Although the king regretted it, he commanded that it be granted because of his oath and his guests. So he sent orders and had John beheaded in the prison. His head was brought on a platter and given to the girl, who carried it to her mother. Then the disciples came, removed the corpse, buried it, and went and reported to Jesus. Feeding of the 5,000. When Jesus heard about it, he withdrew from there by boat to a remote place to be alone. When the crowds heard this, they followed him on foot from the towns. When he went ashore, he saw a large crowd. He had compassion on them and healed their sick. When evening came, the disciples approached him and said, this place is deserted, and it is already late. Send the crowds away so that they can go on to the villages and buy food for themselves. They do not need to go away, Jesus told them. You give them something to eat. But we only have 5 loaves and 2 fish here, they said to him. Bring them here to me, he said. Then he commanded the crowds to sit down on the grass. He took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed them. He broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. Everyone ate and was satisfied. They picked up 12 baskets full of leftover pieces. Now those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Good morning, everyone. Walking on the water. Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side, where he dismissed the crowds. After dismissing the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Well into the night, he was there alone. Meanwhile, the boat was already some distance from the land, battered by the waves, because the wind was against him. Jesus came toward them walking on the sea very early in the morning. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. It was a ghost, they said, and they cried out in fear. Immediately Jesus spoke to them. Have courage, it is I. Don't be afraid. Lord, if it's you, Peter answered him, command me to come to you on the water. He said, come. And climbing out of the boat, Peter started walking on the water and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the strength of the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand, caught hold of him, and said to him, you of little faith, why did you doubt? When they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Then those on the boat worshiped him and said, truly you are the Son of God. Miraculous healings. When they had crossed over, they came to shore at Gennesaret. When the men of that place recognized them, they alerted the whole vicinity and brought to him all who were sick. They begged him that they may only touch the end of his robe, as many as touched it, it were healed. Chapter 15. The tradition of the elders. Then Jesus was approached by Pharisees and scribes from Jerusalem who asked, "Why do your disciples break the tradition of the elders? For they don't wash their hands when they eat." He answered them, "Why do you break God's commandment because of your tradition? For God said, 'Honor your father and your mother, and whoever speaks evil of father or mother must be put to death.' But you say, 'Whoever tells his father or mother, whatever benefit you might have received from them is a gift committed to the temple. He does not have honor to his father.' In this way you have nullified the word of God because of your tradition. Hypocrites. Isaiah prophesied correctly about you when he said, This people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. They worship me in vain, teaching as doctrines human commands." Defilement is from within. Summoning the crowd, he told them, "Listen and understand. It's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a person. It's what comes out of the mouth. This defiles a person. Then the disciples came up and took him. "Do you know that the Pharisees took offense when they heard what you said?" He replied, "Every plant that my heavenly Father didn't plant will be uprooted. Leave them alone. They are blind guides, and if the blind guide the blind, both will fall into a pit." Then Peter said, "Explain this parable to us." "Do you still lack understanding?" he asked. "Do you realize that whatever goes into the mouth passes into the stomach and is eliminated? But what comes out of the mouth comes from the heart, and this defiles a person. For from the heart comes evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, sexual immoralities, thefts, false testimonies, slander. These are the things that defile a person, but eating with unwashed hands does not defile a person." A Gentile mother's faith. When Jesus left there, he withdrew to the area of Tyre and Sidon. Just then, a Canaanite woman from the region came and kept crying out, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely tormented by a demon." Jesus did not say a word to her. His disciples approached him and urged him, "Send her away because she's crying out after us." He replied, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came, knelt before him, and said, "Lord, help me." He answered, "It isn't right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." "Yes, Lord," she said, "yet even the dogs eat the crumbs and fall from their master's table." Then Jesus replied to her, "Woman, your faith is great. Let it be done for you as you want." And from that moment, her daughter was healed. Healing many people. Moving on from there, Jesus passed along the Sea of Galilee. He went up on a mountain and sat there. A large crowd came to him, including the lame, the blind, the crippled, and those unable to speak, and many others. They put them at his feet, and he healed them. So the crowd was amazed when they saw those unable to speak talking, the crippled restored, the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they gave glory to God of Israel. Feeding the 4,000. Jesus called his disciples and said, "I have compassion on the crowd, because they've already stayed with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. I don't want to send them away hungry. Otherwise, they might collapse on the way." The disciples said to him, "Where could we get enough bread in this desolate place to feed such a crowd?" "How many loaves do you have?" Jesus asked them. 7, they said, "and a few small fish." After commanding the crowd to sit down on the ground, he took the 7 loaves and the fish, gave thanks, broke them, and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. They all ate and were satisfied. They collected the leftover pieces, 7 large baskets full. Now there were 4,000 men who had eaten, besides women and children. After dismissing the crowds, he got onto the boat and went to the region of Magadan. And actually, you guys, before I knew it, I'm already here at chapter 15. So earlier in the video, I mentioned that I was going to read chapters 13 through 15. And here I am, guys. I am here at 15. And if you want, I can continue to 16. Just say the word and I'll keep on going. Good morning, Adriana. Did I pronounce that correctly? Hi, Jessica, Adriana. Those of you all who are here, thank you so much for joining me on today's live. If you guys want me to continue with chapter 16, just let me know and I will continue with that chapter. If not, we are going to end today's Bible reading here. And I'm just going to just pray that God continues to help you guys in your season. Whatever it is that you may be needing or lacking or asking God for in this season, I pray that God continues to be with you. And I pray that God helps you each and every way. So I just want to say again, thank you so much for joining me on today's live, you guys. I will be live again in the morning. And if you guys want, let me know in the comments of this video once I post it, if you guys want me to continue with just Bible reading, or if you would prefer that I continue with Bible study to include the SOAP method. I'm actually loving just reading the Bible. So I may just continue on with just reading the Bible. And if you guys prefer that I do some episodes, maybe create videos of the SOAP method, I will then do the videos with the SOAP method to be included. But until then, loves, you guys have a great day.